want to touch on Batgirl.
Oh, yes.
I think
Let's touch upon Batgirl.
We should touch on Batgirl because
and also talk about Flash too.
And talk about Flash.
Now, for the record, I'm not naming the star of Flash at all. I am not going to say this person's name at all because I don't want any more publicity that could be misconstrued as positive for this whole thing. So for the record, I'm not saying that person's name. Continue.
Yeah, I just did you read the Flash stuff today about Warner having 3 options of which way they're going to go?
And this was after there's a report stating that there is a missing family.
Yeah.
That was last seen on his compound island or whatever, his cult hangout.
Yeah.
And he's saying, oh no, they left on their own accord, but no one's seen them since. And you've got a litany of charges against you. So what is this? Like, you just phone him and he says, oh, hey, yeah, I haven't seen them. Oh, by the way, you should probably come in because at some point we're going to find you. Are they even looking?
I mean, they had no. He's getting.
I didn't read the 3.
Oh, okay. Well,
options.
You know what? I'm gonna read it to you right now while we're doing this because this is fresh, like 4 hours ago. So basically, their mother is bringing them back home, and they're gonna go through this whole whole fucking thing. Where is it here?
Wait, whose mother? Are you talking about Flash's mom?
No, Ezra's mother.
Oh.
Yeah. Ezra's mother is going to take like full control of Ezra to try to get them on the right track again. So basically,
that'll work with a grown ass person.
So if that doesn't work before the Flash's release, their other option is to basically cut Flash completely out of the publicity, and Ezra is not on any like marketing for the film whatsoever, which is interesting.
How the fuck do you cut a trailer for a movie called The Flash or Flashpoint, whatever they've decided to call it on, and then not show the main star at all?
Oh no. Or canceling it altogether is not off the board.
Actually, I honestly think
and eating the 200 million.
I honestly think that canceling the movie altogether is on the list, but it's bullshit. I don't think they have any plans at all. Like, unless he gets, or I guess unless they get arrested, actually gets caught, gets arrested, that movie is going to be pushed through the theaters. This is how many times has stuff like this happened in the last 6 months? And they just it just seems like they go like this. They go, okay, well, as long as he doesn't choke anyone else, then we're okay.
You got to pause.
And then it comes out. Okay, so this isn't the first time that this person has attacked people in the same bar, no less. But we'll just keep quiet because, as long as they can just maybe smarten up. Now it's kidnapping. Now it's possible grooming.
Yep.
Now it's possible cult.
Like breaking and entering.
Like B&Es. Well, that's not possible. It's B&Es.
Well, that was the last one, right? B&E, and they drank all the alcohol in the house or something. What the fuck?
The whole scenario is so absolutely fucking crazy. And then, to tie back to your original statement, unfinished Batgirl sitting at 90 million, which probably would have bumped it up to probably 180 after everything's finished, said and done. Never going to see the light of day.
Yeah.
But this movie, like I said, unless this person gets fucking arrested or, I'm knocking on wood, dies of an overdose or whatever the hell happens, this movie is going to go to theater.
Yep.
Because they've hinged the entire swath of movies after Flashpoint to this. This whole thing is tied to that ending. However that movie ends is the redistribution of the new movies going forward.
And they said they don't even have the option to cut Ezra's scenes and refilm with a new actor because Ezra's in every friggin' scene in the movie.
Yeah, you could Tig Notaro that shit. You could totally Tig Notaro that shit. I love that that's the verb.
You could Tig Notaro, yes. They digitally took a mustache off of Henry Cavill. So let's digitally put someone else's face on that body.
Seriously. Seriously. Like, I get it. I understand they're so invested in the outcome of that movie. I get it. Okay. But how can that possibly be worth all this extra shit?
Yeah.
Every couple of days you hear of some new thing that this person's doing, and it just brings more negative feed or vibes to this project, which at one point I was like, I can't wait to see this movie.
Oh, me too.
I absolutely can't wait to see this movie. Now I'm not going to watch this movie at all because I cannot, in good conscience, support that person and even Discovery's CEO, who's more and more seeming like a douchebag because what person in their right mind sits there and says, yeah, this is the person we need to hitch everything onto? Like, but then immediately cut like TV shows and movies and basically say, hey, we're not streaming. We're a movie company, so we're going to stay a movie company. So we're not going to do any streaming except for the guaranteed blockbuster hits that they have.
Yeah.
And then go, but this movie's got to stay.
It's confusing times.
And also, they could totally recast and reshoot.
Oh yeah, they could. They just don't want to put another $100 million into it.
Which is fair because this movie's not going to make its money back.
Yeah, I mean, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like, do you keep going and add more money to this failure, or do you bite the bullet and release it and it's a failure regardless? I mean,
or even worse,
at least if they put the extra $100 million into it and put another actor into it, they would get the goodwill of people going, thank you for doing this.
I would be fine with that. I would totally be fine with that. Because especially, like I've been saying for years, that some of these characters just recast them.
Yeah.
You don't have to reboot, you just recast them.
Yep.
You know, like luckily with, Iron Man and Captain America, they were written out they had character backups for them. Because you could have subbed in War Machine if you needed to, but introducing Riri as Ironheart is very, very smart. That's a very smart move. And then, of course, Sam Wilson taking up the mantle of Cap is genius, absolute genius. But like Thor, for instance, why not recast him at some point?
I don't understand. Like, the characters are bigger than the actors, and we've said this during talking about Chadwick Boseman and everything, which rest in peace. And I loved his performance as Black Panther, but T'Challa should be going on, Chadwick or not. I mean, and that's the same thing. Like, how many Batmans have there been? How many Batmans have been great? Almost all of them. Like, there's a lot of great Batmans out there.
Yep.
Why can't we have another Iron Man? Why can't we have another Captain America? You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay. We have another Captain America, though.
Well, it's Steve Rogers. Okay, Steve Rogers.
I get it. You just want the white Captain America. Kenneth.
You caught me.
Kenneth.
You caught me. Well, let's touch on Batgirl real quick.
Yeah, please.
All
please
right.
Do.
Okay, so Batgirl's canned completely. I cut together our predictions episode, our 150th episode. I took out our Batgirl part. Because it was canceled like 2 days after we shot it.
Yep.
So I'm actually going to put that segment. I cut it and I'm going to put it in here so people can hear what we would have thought Batgirl
Oh,
was done.
okay,
So I'm
perfect,
going to put
perfect.
that in here.
The last one that I mentioned was Batgirl, even though it's to be announced.
Yeah, I thought that'd be coming out before Blue Beetle because it seems like there was a
That's
lot
what I
more
thought
info.
too. Needless to say, I'm pumped.
I think Batwoman or Batgirl is going to depend on the Flash because Michael Keaton is in Batgirl. So
Yeah, but like I said too, my theory is that we think Michael Keaton is Bruce Wayne, his version of Batman.
yes,
We think that's the case.
yeah,
I don't really think he is. I think that they're telling us this so that way when he reveals himself to be Thomas Wayne, then we're gonna go, oh fuck, that's awesome, right? And then it allows him to be the older Bruce Wayne training Batgirl for this.
yeah,
But that's my theory. It could be that he's playing Bruce Wayne in both versions, just different versions of that character.
yeah.
The concept is awesome. My only gripe would have been the fact that they could have just did Batman Beyond.
Right. That was immediately my thought. Like, why didn't you just do Batman Beyond?
And don't get me wrong, like I'm pumped. I'm absolutely pumped that they're doing this, and I love that it's Batgirl getting trained by an older Bruce Wayne. I think the concept is great, but it's just we could have had Batman Beyond.
Her father in this is still J.K. Simmons. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. That's whatever.
J.K. Simmons Batman is Ben Affleck. So what's Michael Keaton? Like, it's confusing. It's very confusing.
Yeah, but J.K. Simmons played two versions of
Oh, you think this is
Kids
a
on the
different
Jameson.
universe? Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I'm gonna go back to what you said about the Flash. I think that you're right. After the Flash, we'll give you a better idea of how this is going to play out.
Yeah, and I think that's why this is still to be determined because they don't know when they're releasing the Flash.
Well, yeah, I think. Well, they know when they're going to release it. They just.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know how they're going to release it. Because I don't know. Like, I know that they're pushing for the theater, but once it gets to that point, they might just be like, fuck, we'll just put it on fucking HBO Max.
They might actually do that.
They might have to.
They might have to.
Because like I said, like I'm not seeing it in the theater. I am, and I can't stand Amber Heard, believe me. Like I know I said like I don't think that Johnny Depp is guiltless in this.
Yes.
But I've never once said I'm not gonna watch Aquaman 2 because of Amber Heard. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, I wouldn't watch any Tom Cruise movie because of his obvious link with Scientology. Okay.
It's crazy antics.
Okay. And like you can sit there and say, well, yeah, but maybe Tom Cruise doesn't know about all this stuff. Like Tom Cruise and Scientology are like this. Okay. He knows more than you would. Like if you don't think he knows anything, you're dumb as fuck. But I'm not refusing to watch Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah.
Okay. I am refusing to watch this in the theater, but I will watch it. I might even just like wait till I don't have to pay for it at all and watch it.
Yeah.
Right. But I do feel that they'll just sit there and go, fuck it. We'll just put it on HBO Max because we have to recoup something from this, Yeah. And then that's it. And then, yeah, I think you're right. It'll give us a better idea of how Batgirl is going to come out. Yeah.
It's a shame. I was really excited about that film. Leslie Grace was excited. I don't know. I never saw any shots, so I don't know how her performance was, but visually she looked the part and I was pumped. I was pumped to see it. I mean, it had a great great directors on board. The creators of Ms. Marvel did this and Ms. Marvel was a huge hit. So how is this a piece of shit? And we talked about it that like they tested it and it was rated a 60% and they canceled it. 60% is pretty damn good for an
and it's 60% with unfinished visuals.
Yeah, unfinished visuals, no music, no like
remember when X-Men Origins, Weapon X came out, and it was leaked. Did you actually watch that unfinished version?
I did watch it.
So did I. It was rough.
It was very rough.
on those scenes.
Yep.
But the other movie, like scenes that didn't have the CGI and stuff like that, it was still pretty good.
Yep.
You know, I mean, as good as that movie could have been, because it's, you know,
Yeah. You know,
it's
I
you
don't
know,
hate it. I certainly
Wolverine
don't.
as a 90s action star, I guess, would be the best way to describe that movie.
That's a great way of putting it. It's a Wolverine 90s movie.
Because yeah, in the 90s that would have been killer.
Yeah.
Up the make it a rated R so that you get to see some blood and guts. But
so
the Wolverine was much better.
Oh, I really enjoyed the Wolverine.
So did I.
But I thought the theatrical was better than the extended edition, the R-rated edition.
Well, I don't think I've seen the R-rated edition of the Wolverine.
It's like there's some weird violence in it that doesn't really need to be in there. Like it's like, let's make this gory. Let's make this gory for no reason.
Okay. Yeah.
It still has the giant cyborg Silver Samurai. So,
but regardless, like getting back to Batgirl, so 60% for an unfinished movie, I'd say is actually pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm seeing some of these movies that are being made now, like they're actually going through full process and stuff like that, and they're not getting like 60%. Like not every one of these movies are a huge like blockbuster. And one like Prey, for instance, we'll talk about that one. Whereas I don't think this would have been a huge blockbuster either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's more of a franchise thing than anything. But
Prey, I think Prey would have opened low. We'll touch on Prey. But
yeah, we'll touch on it.
Regardless, this whole Batgirl situation is just irritating. Like this new guy, whatever the fuck his name from Discovery, is coming in with this 10-year plan to make DC like Marvel, like,
which is fine. Like it's
awesome.
Good that they have a game plan, okay, and I like the idea of them bringing in someone like a Kevin Feige so that they have an overseer. I know that Johns was supposed to be in that role, but he hasn't really. I don't know that he could actually be in that role if, like, for whatever reason behind the stages, but like that all sounded good.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it was like, oh, and then HBO Max is going to get cut and it's going to be fused with Disney Plus. And you're just like, why would you take like one of the better apps out there?
Yeah.
And say, nah, you know what? We're going to smash you into the Discovery Plus app.
Like HBO
Not that the
Max,
app itself is that bad, but HBO Max was better.
HBO Max is fantastic. It's got a huge user base, and they're just going to scrap it.
Yeah.
And they already had DC Universe. They took DC Universe and they put it in the HBO Max. Now they're scrapping HBO Max. Like
Exactly. So that's like what? And it's like shows were getting canceled. Like a bunch of shows got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to hear anything about Young Justice, but that's probably done.
Oh, here's another thing. Did you know DCComics.com no longer exists?
That I did not know.
It's DC.com now. And when you go into it, it says DC Entertainment, and it just shows movies and TV shows with one little thing that's comic books, and you click into that, and it brings you the comic books.
Cool.
Yeah. Real cool. So yeah, anyway, the Batgirl news pissed me off. Blue Beetle today as well got an official release date, still happening.
That was one of those ones where I was like, well, fuck, because we talked about that. We're like, well, Blue Beetle's done.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad it's not.
Blue Beetle's got to be done, right?
Yeah, it's weird that it isn't.
But I guess it doesn't look good on the rich white guy to go around canceling all the diverse superhero films. I feel like that's the only reason why they're still saying Black Canary's safe is because ooh, I already canceled one. I can't do another right now.
And that was the other thing that blew my mind too. Where they're like, bye Batgirl, but keep Black Canary.
Right. Cancel the movie already shot, but this one that
don't get me wrong.
I
don't want any of these to be canceled at all.
Yeah.
But if I were to pick, it would be Batgirl over Black Canary. And I thought Black Canary was one of the best things in Birds of Prey. And I was glad that she was getting her own movie. I was like, yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But if my choice is Batgirl or her, it's Batgirl. She's got, first of all, regardless of whether or not you're familiar with her, you hear Batgirl and you go, "Oh, it's something to do with Batman. Maybe I'll check that out."
Right? Exactly.
And then when you see like she's got that fucking Burnside costume, you're just like, "Whoa, fuck, this is gonna be cool."
Mhm.
They've stunt casted J.K. Simmons as another version of Jim Gordon. Perfect.
Yeah.
I can't go wrong there.
The return of Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Which I actually think would have been Bruce Wayne, not the Thomas Wayne that I think is going to happen in Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm. I believe Batgirl was pretty much complete, and I don't think Batgirl fit into this new guy's 10-year plan. Whereas Black Canary hasn't started yet, so they could easily fit that into the 10-year plan.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it makes sense that way. Like when you put it like that, it's just.
Yeah. Whereas,
and it might even be one of those stupid things where they're sitting there going like, it's like you can't have too many Bat characters at once. So if you've got Batman movies, you can't have Batgirl movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, okay, well, why? Like this was supposed to be an HBO Max thing anyway.
Yeah.
So why not just fucking leave HBO Max? Like it all just doesn't make any sense to me.
Really interesting that Ben Affleck came back for Aquaman, where I thought Flash was his final time. This new guy must have talked to Affleck and asked him to continue on or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but none of it makes sense anymore.
No.
And probably one of the things that bothers me the most is that you almost have to watch Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Even though I'm like refusing.
They should have
flat out refusing.
They should have a version on the Blu-ray where the Ezra-less version.
Yeah, like that person who will
4 minutes long.
Yeah.
You get to watch the whole movie with him just like bleeped out.
Also, why the fuck does that person have to be in every single scene? Like that's the excuse that they're going to use. Like I guarantee you, they're not in every single scene. They're just literally still doing this move. Where they're just like, just fucking calm down so we can let the heat die down so that people forget because people are stupid. And then we can say, hey, remember that Flash movie you wanted to see? Let's release it.
We got 10 months to make you an actual saint.
This whole thing with Warner Brothers Discovery merger went from me being like super excited and optimistic about the possibilities to now just being like, what the fuck? Like, really?
Mm-hmm. I almost wish I almost wish that Warner would keep the movie rights to these characters and sell the comic rights to someone else.
Yeah.
At this point, really, Dark Horse, Boom, doesn't have to be Marvel. There's a lot of big companies out there. Image even make a fucking I don't know. Jim Lee can go back to Image, restart Wildstorm, put DC over there.
I don't know. It's just it's just really weird. And the other thing too is like if they keep guys like that guy will like there for is one of those where I don't think that they've ever understood comic books. So I don't think he understands that the comics are what brought people to the movies.
Yes.
Like don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to be a comic book fan to watch the movies and love those movies.
No.
But you understand that they came from comic books and that's why we're watching.
They wouldn't exist without the comic books.
I mean, I don't, honestly, it's a little depressing that like I don't know what the fuck's going on and
yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird time for everything.
Yeah, especially anyone that's in that person's orbit. Because that whole thing with that person, that Flash star is just fucked. And it's getting more and more fucked.
Yeah. It's out of control.
They cut their losses with Batgirl, but they were like, yeah, full steam ahead on Flash.
Right.
And I would now, like, the more I think about it, though, the more I think it's like, it might actually do really well out of just pure morbid curiosity.
Yeah. Well,
hey, let's see the fucking crazy person's movie. Well, I mean, like Dark Knight made $1 billion, and a lot of it was simply because that was Heath Ledger's last big movie.
I wonder if that Andy Muschietti or whatever his name is, the writer director, I wonder if he's mentioned anything about this. He must be just fucking like, God damn it.
That's the best part. All I know about this movie is that that person's in it, and it's supposed to basically rewrite the current DC EU to better reflect what they want.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I understand that there's probably writers and directors, but I don't know any of those people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nothing says perfect like a psychotic linchpin in your franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the Warner Discovery news this week.
Yay.
Yay.